Everybody, and welcome to this quick little video here. This is Rob Hannley, the president and co-founder of PrimoVacations, and I get asked all the time about the value of PrimoVacations and what it compares to the things that are out there in the industry. And hands down, we always say we absolutely blow everything else away. Now, with Primo, we have deals and steals and a concierge type of a service that you can call into. Full service agency, more than 23, 24, I think it's pushing actually 30 years of experience here in vacation and travel. So there's pretty much nothing that you really can't ask our concierge desk. They even do wedding planning, as a matter of fact. And yes, you can get great deals on hotels. We've got a low price guarantee on hotels. We've got cruises. You can book airfare for convenience. Generally not going to find great, huge deals on the airfare. But the main thing that I talk about when I talk about Primo is I talk about Primo going head-to-head with Timeshare. And a lot of people are familiar with Timeshare. I'm familiar with Timeshare. Generally, Timeshare, you're going to spend anywhere from 20 to 25,000, sometimes 30, 40, up to 50,000 or even more on a timeshare. These are resorts all over the world. You generally get a free breakfast, or you're going to get tickets to go jet skiing or scuba diving or whatever it is like that, to sit in on a presentation, and you're going to have a timeshare guy twist your arm for about a couple, 2-3 hours until you actually buy one. And love them, love the resorts and things like that, but what we're talking about right now is the value overall of Primo, because we have virtually all of the timeshares. I tell people, unless it's a little podunk one resort timeshare, we probably have all of it. We've got literally thousands and thousands and thousands of resorts and millions of weeks. We've even got a hot weeks that we put out every single week. And I've talked to timeshare salesmen again and again they like Primo, they sell Primo on the side. They tell me that Primo completely blows away what they call their exit product, or it's kind of a last ditch product. They'll offer people some kind of a club membership if you're not going to buy the timeshare. But who I have with me today is my friend Mike here from Utah. And Mike is the first guy, I love getting timeshare salesmen to tell me how great and how valuable our product is. In fact, quite frankly, they don't like that it's as low priced as it actually is. They want it to be actually worth $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, because that's what they sell the exit product for. But Mike is quite unique, and Mike is an absolute expert in being a consumer or a buyer or an owner of timeshare. So I asked Mike to do a little interview here to kind of share his experience, because when I heard his experience, I was really, really impressed, and I like it from the perspective of somebody that's a timeshare owner. So Mike, thanks for taking the time to jump on and do this little interview with me. I really appreciate it. We've been looking to do this for a while here.
Yep, more than welcome, Rob. And as you talked about the timeshares and the industry itself, it was quite interesting, because we've been there, done that, and seen that in all of the various things that you were talking about. We've paid the money. We've gone to the timeshare presentations. We've gone through the exit interviews. We own 26 weeks of timeshare. And I will say that we did own 26 weeks of timeshare. We are now down.
Let me stop real quick, because I'm the kind of personality that I have to stop and highlight and underscore the whole thing here. There's 52
Sure.
weeks in a year, so I'm going to break it all down. In the timeshare, you get 1 week, right? You don't get 3 weeks or 5 weeks. You get 1 week. When you buy a timeshare, you're staying at a resort, you're a member, and everybody shares. There's 52 weeks in a year, and one owner gets that place for 1 week for the year, right?
No. Yes, one week for the year for that particular unit.
Time. Yep.
That unit will be divided 50 times.
50 times, okay. So
2 weeks they use for maintenance.
Okay, 2 weeks they use for maintenance. So that unit, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to make sure that I get to the part that's like the oh my God part for me, is 52 or 50 weeks a year overall is what it's actually available here. You pay, like I said, 10,000, 20, I think 10's on the low side, 20 to 25, 30 is not uncommon at all, right? You get 1 week.
I've paid as high as 54.
You've paid as high as $54,000 for a timeshare. Okay, so when I
For
heard
1
this,
week of timeshare.
and when I heard your story, I'm like, how many weeks did you have? You have basically every other week of the entire year you had for timeshare. 26 out of 52 weeks a year you had timeshare.
We did.
And you used it.
And we used it through the 90s and through about 2007.
So every other week you're basically staying in a resort?
We would go 6, 8, 10 weeks at a time.
Amazing.
And then we would come home and be home for a little bit, and then we'd go out again and go for 4 weeks or 5 weeks, and we're timeshare junkies.
So
we started in 1987. Actually, my wife did. I was a camper, and my wife. This is before we knew each other. So she had bought 1 week of timeshare before we found each other. And then she kind of told me about timeshare, and I'm going, I don't like it. I don't like this crap. And so we went to a couple timeshare presentations. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the resort that she took me on our honeymoon. And I'm going like, whoa, this is nice. And we went to a resort out in San Diego area, Palm Springs, and I loved it. And I said, we need to get some more of these. And so we bought 2 more immediately in 92 or 93, right after we were married, and then we started stockpiling. And I was in an industry that I was an entrepreneur, so I had the ability to go wherever I wanted to go, when I wanted to go. And my wife was a traveling nurse. She was a traveling nurse, so a pretty cool deal. And so we were traveling all the time, and we would go to her destinations where she would travel as a nurse, and then we would take off from that location. So, yeah. And then we just bought more and more and more, and by the time I think about 98, 99, we wound up with 26 weeks.
Absolutely incredible that you had that. So you got 26 weeks of timeshare, and that's my cat overall, if anybody heard it meow in the background there. Sorry about that. But so 26 weeks of timeshare. And I remember when you came into Primo, you had looked at one of the videos that I did. It was one of the hot weeks. I stayed at this beautiful resort. It was right around, I call it the Aspen, Colorado of northern Idaho. It's about a half an hour from a ski resort called Schweitzer Mountain in northern Idaho. It's on a beautiful lake called Pend Oreille Lake in Sanborn, Idaho. I got that for $100. And I remember when you entered Primo, you said, yeah, I've stayed at that place in northern Idaho.
Yep. Sandstone or something.
I'm trying to think what it was. I know it was in Hope, Idaho, and on the north side of Lake Pend Oreille. It's absolutely beautiful. We're 30 minutes from just this fantastic. It's literally like Aspen, Colorado, ski resort right at the height of ski season. 50% occupancy at the time. I mean, there's lots of people that are there. I think I asked the people. They said they even rented those timeshares out. They said they rented them, I think, for generally $1,300 or $1,400 for the week. I think she said you can maybe find them for $800-900, and I had it for $100 for the week. Full kitchen, bathroom, the whole bit. So that was the first place that you told me about. But then as you started going through the inventory, you're like, stayed there, own that, have that, been there, stayed there, have that, own that, which again I was saying was totally unique to talk to somebody that actually has had that experience. So
one that you...
What's that?
Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. That's correct. I got a bad connection here. It's Puerto Vallarta. Yep.
I just kind of laughed because I looked down at the hot weeks and how much you were paying for it. We paid, I told you this already, and so you know it, but for those who are watching and listening, $54,000 for 1 week there.
$54,000, and we had it listed at Hot Weeks for?
I think it was $349 or something. So that's when I knew that this was a deal. and I see $349, and we pay maintenance fee of 800 plus down there
A year.
every year.
So basically, more than what the Primo membership costs, you're paying
Oh,
in maintenance fees for that one resort.
one resort, and we paid, as I mentioned to you previously, we paid about $500 to $600 on a yearly basis for each unit for a maintenance fee.
Absolutely amazing.
So if you figure that out, 26 times 500 is 13,000 every year in maintenance fees, and then on top of that, you've got to pay what RCI, the resort company, you have to pay them $189 to $200 to use their system to exchange.
Absolutely amazing. And so there's taxes too, right?
No taxes. Just
Okay.
we paid about 13,000 a year plus when we would change, and we would never go to our home resorts. We didn't go to there. We wanted to explore the world. So you're looking at 13,000 plus another $6,000 to $7,000 that we paid in fees to RCI, Resort Condominium International, to exchange. So we're paying $20,000 a year just to have the privilege of doing timeshare.
Amazing.
Now, take a look at Primo. It's $697 one-time fee, and then paying what, 100 to 500. Even if I paid $500 and only went to 10 locations, that's $5,000. I'm saving $15,000. So yeah, Primo was a no-brainer. As soon as I saw it, it was a no-brainer.
And so again, guys, with Primo, you're not with Primo. You can get 52 weeks a year because there is no maintenance time because you got all these resorts to travel from. I tell people all the time, Hawaii. You could stay at resorts in Hawaii. I love to go to Hawaii. It's a great vacation destination. And you go to resorts in Hawaii, you could literally live there year-round and pay rent, if you will. Have somebody clean up your place, do your laundry, not your laundry, but do your dishes, wipe everything down, full maid service for, on the low side, probably $400 or $500 maybe for the month, to about maybe $1,100 or $1,200. I mean, imagine, it's like almost a solution for homeless people that you could pay that low and live 200 yards from beautiful, from the ocean. I mean, imagine. And I have one that was listed recently in Maui. That was a hot week. It was $100 for the week. 200 yards from, was right on a golf course. Absolutely beautiful. So this is why, guys, I wanted to actually have somebody. How do you get a chance to meet somebody that's got 26 weeks of timeshare? Obviously, when you buy that many, it stands to reason that these are nice locations. They're the kind of places that you would want to stay, that I would want to stay, that you'd want to bring your wife, your husband, your spouse to stay. These are nice, right?
We always bought Gold Crown. It's the highest level that you can get in RCI, and we always bought Gold Crown, whether that be in Scottsdale, Arizona, Carlsbad, California, Salt Lake City area, on and on and on. South Africa, we owned 2 weeks in South Africa at a game preserve, beautiful game preserve down in South Africa. Yeah, always nice locations. And as I go through the Primo hot weeks each week, there are those types of resorts available within the hot weeks, and only paying $300 to $500 for nice 2-bedroom condos that I know are beautiful because I've stayed at them.
$300 is like what, $50 a day to stay at a nice resort that's on the beach or something like that, with tennis courts or jacuzzis, pools, the full service.
And just think of it this way. I mean, you can't pay 7 days at a Motel 6 is going to cost you $400, taxes and everything. So I look at it like that. It's just absolutely a steal, a steal.
No
it's
question.
It's an incredible program that you guys have put together at Primo, and I look at we got somebody that's cool. That's normal, Rob. That's a child doing what a child does.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to wave him out of the picture here. So
Yeah.
I had nice lighting here actually in my dining room and looking in my living room. So hey, we run a virtual, everything's virtual that we do. So sorry about that, guys. School just got out. So, at any rate, the bottom line is that I said, hey, we got to do a little interview. We got to talk to a guy that's got 26 weeks of timeshare and great places, great locations. You're not going to spend $13,000 a year
Nope.
like Michael does here on maintenance fees. You can use it even more. That was only 26 weeks a year, and anyhow, this is why we love our product. We got a great opportunity. You know, everything's awesome, but I think that you guys are gonna. I think that you're gonna be pretty happy. So you've been pretty happy with everything that you've seen. It's funny because the thing that you have the advantage to is you look at the stuff that we have and you're like, I've stayed there, I've been there, or I've owned that.
Correct.
Incredible.
And I, just to be honest here, we no longer own 26 weeks. We now own 15, and we're going down further. We have 7 more on the market. So if anybody wants to buy some timeshare, Rob will hook you up with me, and we'll sell you some timeshare cheap. But we're literally getting rid of our timeshare because we want to go not 100% primo, but we're going to go down to about 3 or 4 weeks that we love, and we'll put them. And
I'd
then
say
the
from
rest
a guy that owns 26 timeshare weeks, 13,000 in maintenance down to 2 or 3, that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
If you had a friend that was going to buy timeshare, what would you tell him?
No. By PrimoVacations. Yeah.
Nice. Outstanding. Well, that's pretty much all. That's pretty much all the sum and summary, guys, of what I wanted to do. I told Mike, hey, we need to just do this real quick here. Sorry for some of the distractions here around, but that's kind of how life is a little bit sometimes. But I wanted to have a conversation about and have you guys kind of meet, so to speak, somebody that owns all this. Again, it's one thing to have timeshare guys say, man, your product is incredible. The only problem I have with your product, by the way, is I wish that you sold it for more money, because we sell our exit products for, you've experienced exit products, right?
Have experienced exit products, and typically they're $8,000 to $1,000.
$8,000, guys.
800 to $1,000.
Okay, I've seen them go way up more than that, but yeah, absolutely.
But what they will do, Rob, is they will give you a week at some crappy resort, and that's what you get. You get 1 week of timeshare. You don't get an expanded. You don't get any hot weeks. You don't get any of that stuff. You get 1 week for about $1,000.
Nice.
So
fantastic.
yeah, Primo has got the product that my wife and I want for our future as retirees. We want to be able to access everything that Primo has when we're retired.
Fantastic. Absolutely, positively love it. And this is why I was hounding you, saying, hey, we got to do this. We got to do this. I got to share this with everybody. And I'm really thrilled we did.
I took that today to do this.
I very much appreciate it. I know you weren't feeling well, so, and rather than to look to do this again with some of the distractions, we're just going to keep this, guys, how it is. And thanks a ton, Mike, for jumping on.
All right. Anytime, Rob.
Okay. We'll talk to you real soon.
All right.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.